The Quietus was the name given to the global climate disaster that ended human civilization as it was known 100 years ago. Earthquakes, storms, fires, and tsunamis plagued the planet for weeks as rising sea levels swallowed land masses, killing millions within a matter of days. The world outside of North America is unknown. However, what is known is that it was now a wasteland of 13 different regions across what used to be America and Eastern Canada. These regions, no matter their geography, always had war and fighting between different factions, militia groups, clans, and cults. They stole food, water, resources, land, and whatever else they didn't already own. In the frigid winds of what used to be Colorado, however, there was a utopian, eco-friendly city-state called Capitolia. Capitolia, formed from the survivors of the Quietus, became a notable power and became the most powerful nation in all of the wasteland. Before declaring all war on all of its neighbors and conquering the continent. From the Pacific, through the Great Plains, all the way to the Atlantic, Capitolia waged war in a place that was once called the United States. Cities, ruined cities, farmland, it didn't matter. Capitolia invaded and took it. And with just 2 short weeks, Capitolia would reign supreme over subjugated and defeated. The groups were suppressed and became normal civilians. And the 13 regions became 13 districts, with Capitolia splitting off from its original purpose to become the capital of the Republic of Panem. The world returned to some form of to a time of peace and normalcy, as the anarchy slowly came to an end. Before war would rear its vengeful head once again. Before the period known as the Dark Days, each district, starting out as its own city-state surrounded by thick layers of forests, only connected by train, grew to become bigger than former US states and Canadian provinces. And they were free to rule themselves however they saw fit. That would be until Mayor Nero of District 13 tried to secede from Panem and eventually caused the Civil War. Panem's then president, President Tideman, was doing nothing about the war and letting the country collapse. However, in the capital was also an armed group called the Redeemers, led by General Ravenstill. Ravenstill and his group took over the capital and assassinated President Tideman, eventually taking over the entire country once again. The capital defeated 12 of the districts and heavily punished District 13, worse than any other district. This war also caused a strain on the economy, causing them to have no other choice but to take surrounding areas. Hawaii, the Caribbean, and Western Canada fell to Panem's forces, becoming districts 14, 15, and 16 respectively. However, word from a hovercraft flyover over the southeastern U.S. saw the waters of the Gulf of Mexico receding and former land exposed once again. Places like the former U.S. Gulf Coast and the state of Florida were absorbed into Panem as the country spread northward. into the Arctic, the Gulf Islands. There. Just like that, the district Panem became a nation once again, and Mayor Nero was taken to the capital and publicly executed in front of citizens of his own district. In response, after the Dark Days, the capital made the Hunger Games. 2 tributes from each district, including volunteers of the capital's professional Hunger Games team, had to send 2 tributes every year, one boy and one girl, to fight to the death in the arena. The worst of this punishment was given to District 13, who fared even worse than District 12 during the reaping. Again, this is my own interpretation, this is not canon, but I just hope y'all enjoy it. Alright, bye.